Yes, indeed, we are back. The ultimate Brown show. Tyvis Powell is in the building. Fastest 30 minutes in all of sports. You made it, my man. You was just at the Browns facility, correct?
Yes, I was. I got to see a couple of players in there. I seen K York bopping around. I saw Rodney McLeod. We actually interviewed Rodney McLeod. Hey, dude had me ready to run through the wall, man.
He was excited.
Dude.
He was ready to go.
Oh man, I can't wait for the season now.
Hey, I just asked Steve, do they want Rodney McLeod? We need to spill him off over on UCSS. Like, did you get that contact?
I did not get the contact. He had just re-signed with the Browns, and they brought him in on the radio, and yeah, man, he's very passionate, dude.
We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that in. I got a little inside track on that. We're gonna get that interview. So we're gonna do that, man. We got a great show for you today, man. As always, here on the Ultimate Browns. We're gonna get into Deshaun Watson. I think the best part of Deshaun Watson is his IQ. You gonna help me break down some of the stuff that he talks about in this film, and it just goes to show. We got a little clip from his podcast to show just like this is the Deshaun that I think everybody should get a chance to see, and it's the fact that he has a huge and a substantial football IQ, and I think that's the thing that's on display at this what we're talking about as well. The NFL makes some major rule changes, and it does not help us defensive players. I'll be defensive end. Tyvis is a guy, in the secondary. Tell us how we're supposed to get people on the ground now. How is it that you are supposed to, maybe you can feel our frustration, but you let us know how we go about getting guys on the ground now, Tyvis, because this ruling is crazy to me.
So I told you I talked to Sherm about this last week, and I was like, Sherm, ain't no way they gonna pass this rule. And he's like, all right. And I seen it today, and I'm just like, let's just put the flags on us, man. Let's just make it fair because it's ridiculous,
man. And since we allowed breaking down a couple of things, I got some don't listen. Don't shoot the messenger. I got some NFL film. We're going to break it down. I heard we can break it down. Like I just heard that was a new thing. So I always believe in asking for forgiveness instead of so we're going to see if this works out. We will see. Don't hate me. We got we're going to see if we can be groundbreaking over here. But first and foremost, let's get to Kevin Stefanski speaks out at the annual meeting in Tyvis. One of the things that we are working on, because we're gonna get this together. So we're gonna take this off. One of the things we are working on is this, and we're gonna do this, and boom! Look at that, Kevin Stefanski. Yeah. According to Zach Jackson, at Acro Jackson, shout out to you. Kevin Stefanski talked this morning at the owners meeting. Watson is in a good place. Chubb is in the building rehabbing every day. No word on Brazil. And he still won't say who's calling the plays more later throughout the week. Tyvis, when you look at this, Kevin Stefanski is really great at saying a bunch of stuff, but not really giving you nothing. At this point, the thing that stands out to me most is he still won't say nothing about the plays. At this point, I'm just assuming he's not calling plays, because if he was calling the plays, he would just say something at this point. Your thoughts on what the Dakota rig says for Kevin Stefanski?
I mean, when you look at this, this is a bunch of stuff that we already knew what was going on, and when it comes to the play calling, I think that at the end of the day, he's going to have a lot of input on the play sheet, and this might be the first year that he actually gives up like the actual calling of the plays, but he's still going to be there to still assist in every way. He's like the president in this thing. He got the veto power. If they were saying something he don't like, or he sees something that he knows a good play for, then he's going to call the play. But for the majority of the time, I think they're going to let Ken Dorsey and Deshaun cook up and do their thing. And he's going to try to sit back a little bit, because I think he realized the importance of this season, of how much he needs to be overseeing the entire team, with all the injuries that went on and how he was able to keep everybody on track. I think everybody understands the fact that he's a really good coach when he's overseeing everything. But I think Ken Dorsey do call plays this season.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you. I mean, they might cook up together. You know what I'm saying? It'll be a group project. You know what it is. You know, so you know how it is, Tyvis. When you used to be in college, they used to have the group projects, right? And they also always you want to stick the brothers at the end. You don't bring no. You gonna try to get me to C minus? No, I need to. They either give you the very or the intro. They give you that football player intro. He plays football. He couldn't come to all the meetings. You know, I got football at 2 p.m. You know good and well I can't take classes from 2 to 6.
Well, I was listening.
By the way, did you have box scheduling at O State?
Box scheduling? What you mean?
Could you take classes? You could take, like, you had it square, like it was like block scheduling. You like practice.
Oh, no. We had, you could schedule, so they might have flipped it now, but you had your practice, your class times was from 8 to, it had to be done by 2 p.m.
There it is.
8 to end at 2 p.m. And then if you wanted to take a night class, you could take it at like 7:30 or something like that.
Yeah. But low key, they might be like, no, you need tables. You need to get these tables in, young boy.
No, well, they gonna make you. If you gonna have tables, you gonna have it after that class. So you might have tables to 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
We're not doing that.
That's how they do. That's how they do you. I'm just telling you.
Look, I know how O State do. Look. Hey, listen, you know, Max school, they be like, listen, man, I'm not trying to have nothing too much on Friday.
Oh God. Oh God. No, when I was at the Browns Stadium today, and I listened to some Stefanski clips when he was talking at the meeting, and they was asking him about the coaching changes on offense, having all these new guys in there, and you know what went into all of that. And he was like, they were asking like, did the 4 years just kind of run its course? And he was he didn't answer it straight up because he just don't answer things straight up. But the gist of what he was saying was, you know, it was time to get some new ideas in there, new fresh ideas. And it's good to have all these different offensive minds in here, and we're working together to come up with a really good playbook. You know, you got different styles from different guys. So they're all working together to cook up something. And I think the offense will look different from what we've seen, you know, from the past couple of years.
You know, I think here's what you're going to learn about Kevin Stefanski. I think that he can be a collaborator, and I think he can get his game to and get his, you know, his coaching status to the next level. Like, you know, for all the stuff that's been said about him, he's been, you know, 2-time coach of the year. There's not a lot of people who've done that. But just think about what you can say about a man who says, I brought in Mike Vrabel as a consultant. I brought in Tommy Reese. I brought in, you know what I'm saying? I brought in Ken Dorsey. I brought in all these dudes to come up and help us cook up a playbook and a scheme and offensive identity. And I'm willing to take a back seat at it. I won Coach of the Year, and I was still calling plays. I feel like I could win Coach of the Year again and not call the plays. I think you know learn a lot about him.
You know what I think though? Remember, like when they first fired the offensive staff, I was like, it's interesting because this staff has been here for 4 years, and nobody on the offensive side has gotten interviewed for jobs or none of that stuff. Like nobody has taken somebody off of the offensive coaching staff. And it's interesting. Now that I sit back and I think about that, and I fast forward to today, he went and got a bunch of young up and coming coaches. And I wonder if, you know, if this offense does start clicking, a lot of those younger coaches, because, you know, the teams always want the younger guy, up and coming guy to be the new coach. You know, I wonder if those guys are more inclined to get poached off this coaching staff, which I would think so. You know, a guy like Tommy Reese, who's a great offensive mind, or the one running back coach, the one guy that's from where is he? UConn, I think he is. I think that's where he's from. Like all these guys that might be up and coming. Maybe Kevin Stefanski is thinking to himself, "Hey, we're gonna cook up a new offense, and I'm gonna put you guys in position to, you know, maybe go on to be an OC somewhere else." So it could be a way of him being like, "Listen, I'm gonna show you how good of a coach I am. I'm so good of a coach that I'm gonna put y'all on and get y'all to become OC somewhere else," and stuff like that. It could be something to look out for. I don't think it's gonna be something that's gonna happen like next year, but look out for that though.
You know, Tyvis, I'll tell you what. You know, we can get that popping. I'm ready to go, man. Kevin Stefanski does a good job of telling us nothing, but I'm gonna let you guys know we did hear something today. We heard something today from the NFL talking about what we got going on. Was a new rule change. New rule change happened today, and it was nasty work. It was nasty work. Me and Tyvis will come back and talk about that nasty work that they gave. A new rule change here, and I don't know how defensive players play. We got a clip that we'll show you, but we'll get to that. It's all coming up next on the Ultimate Cleveland Browns Show. If you have not been here, you don't understand. 3 p.m. today was the debut of the Ultimate Guardians, the best baseball pod in the game. You want to talk Guardians? They're there for you. You want to talk minor league prospects? They're there for you. Adam the Bull, Zach Meisel of The Athletic, two of the best baseball minds in all of Cleveland, all over the state of Ohio. This is a highbrow type show. Make sure you check them out on Mondays, every Monday. Rain, sleet, or snow. They ain't got an exact time, but just check it out. We will have uploads every single Monday. Zach Meisel, Adam the Bull. We have now completed our triumvirate of all-star shows. We got the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We got the Ultimate Guardians. We got the Ultimate Cavs. We got the Ultimate 216. And, of course, you always know we got the Ultimate Browns. So we've completed what we're going to do. The best content in all the city, it can be found right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Network. And make sure you check out Ultimate Gardens each and every Monday. But we back in Ultimate Browns. We right back in 93 people in here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, giving you that content only we can bring. They say, we got Tyvis, we got Quincy and G. Bush. That's like the Migos. Like, that's crazy. As a matter of fact, I got a shirt. You know what? You the mess around. I got a shirt coming. We might have to get. Yeah,
so they to put you on to something, huh?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. My wheels is turning, but the NFL always got their wheels turning. And today the NFL made a rule change. Let's go ahead and get this back. Boom, boom. Look at them. I'm getting good at this, man. Look, side joint. Bow. Ian Rappaport, he comes out and says the NFL has banned the hip drop tackle. Source said the competition committee was unanimous on it. Unanimous. And as we see here, here's what the hip drop tackle looks like. And before we get into this, Warren Wilhelm, I don't know who this is. I just thought, he came off as an apologist. I don't like it, but I understand why the league is banning it. Nobody wants their star players getting hurt by having their feet trapped on a routine tackle. Once again, routine tackle. How are you supposed to tackle? This is a routine tackle. There are safer ways to bring down a ball carrier without impacting the ability for the defense to do their jobs. I'm confused. You can't hit a quarterback below the body. You can't tackle a quarterback and put your full weight as you drive him to the ground. You cannot touch a quarterback in the head above the shoulders. You cannot no longer horse collar, which means you can't grab them from the back. You can't grab them around their waist. What is why are we wrapping how will you tackle a guy from behind now, Tyvis? I don't know. We'll figure it out, but I want to show you, this is the NFL clip. This is I believe somebody took this inside the NFL competition committee. And basically they talked about this as well. We're going to take a look at this. We'll get to it right now. Let's do it.
And unweighting yourself as a defender and landing on your opponent's legs. You've heard us say before that the injury rate, this sort of tackle compared to a typical tackle, is at least 20 times more. We came to that from reviewing about 20,000 videos of tackles. The injury rate, we see it 20 times.
So you see them here, pointing it out, diagramming it, and they're telling you that the injury rate is 20 times more higher when you use that sort of tackle. In this case, Tyvis, how, as a defender, as a safety, as a corner, as somebody who's tackling in space more than defensive linemen like myself, how do you go about tackling guys now?
Well, I will tell you this, G. When I seen this, I said for a fact When they gone now, it's no point in catching them. Like, how you gonna bring them down? There's just no way. The only way you're gonna bring them down is if you hip drop tackle them. And then what gets me about this whole thing is that it literally is from people that obviously never played the game of football. Like if I'm playing corner or safety and I've got to tackle this tight end, like how you think I'm gonna get him down? You know, what you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop my weight so I can get this man down, because if I stand up, he gonna just keep running. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody can't do rugby style tackling. Like, don't get me wrong, that's what I practiced. That's what I did. I used to love rugby style tackling, but I also made that exact tackle so many times where I just had to. That's just the only way you're gonna get them down. So, to me, it just makes me upset because it's always tailored to the offense. They always ban something that a defensive player is doing, and never nothing to offense. The tush push was on the thing this year. Guess what they said? Nah, we gonna keep letting them do that. Like, come on, man. Like that right there is one of the most violent 1 yard play that's ever been invented. And y'all, that's cool though. So it's amazing to me how y'all like continuously look out for the offense, but never do nothing to help the defense. So again, it's one of those things that I would, if I was playing, I wouldn't even think about it. I'm gonna tackle this dude, and if you gonna find me or give me the flag, I'll handle that afterwards. But I'm not gonna lose a game on the count of the fact that y'all don't want me to make this routine tackle.
I mean, I seriously do not understand how are you going to tackle Derrick Henry? How are you tackling guys like, and you're a DB? If you are a guy, and mind you, they let guys stiff arm you and put your hands on, like backs can put their whole fingers in your face. The 5-finger discount. Get your hand off. And they could just stiff arm you to the ground. And you out here looking around, trying to like, okay, well, I can't grab his collar. I can't horse collar him. I can't grab his face mask. I can't really grab his waist anymore. Now it just comes down to the ankle clap. You got to get and the ankle clap is something that's not even in our package. We don't know how to clap ankles. Tyvus?
Like I said, like the thing that what they don't understand is like straight on, like head on. Yeah, you can go low and hit their legs or wrap their legs up. But, I swear to you, if you watch the game of football, I would say 85% of tackles are not head on. Like it's not boom. Everything is from an angle. And like that's the only, you got to wrap and roll. Like that's what they tell you to do, wrap and roll. So this is crazy. What you gonna do about this?
Tim Hart says knee injuries will go up. Now listen, we got to talk about this. There's see here, y'all go. There's an unwritten rule up front that if I'm engaged with a lineman and I'm sword fighting with the tackle, I don't need to guard all down by my ankles. That's fighting material. I gotta see you after the game, because now you're trying to take my career up out of here. So if you're a safety and they telling you can't tackle this way, that way, this way, this way, this way, this way, and it's your livelihood on the table, and you got to make a touchdown saving tackle. You're going low now, Tyvus.
Absolutely.
You're going low, and you know what it looks like when you go low on a guy, right? Super. That was
wild.
Crazy.
That was wild.
That was wild.
Damn,
sorry,
you need to go rinse your mouth out, because that you talking.
I mean, it was crazy.
You gotta
hit. We're talking about hitting, below the waist. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about taking legs out. Now, is that a thing? Like, because you played in the league, the receivers come to you sometimes and say, "Look, hey, bro, hit me here."
That's what
in the sternum. Don't get my legs, dog.
Will tell you that. Larry Fitzgerald would tell you that. You would tell Larry Fitzgerald, "No offense, bro, you 230. Why would I? No. How about when you catch the ball and you see me just fall down? How about you do that?"
That's great. So Larry Fitzgerald was really out there like, "Hey, don't play with my legs."
Top. Yeah, he said, "Hit me up top. Don't hit me on my legs." He said that to you all the time. And I would rebuttal and say, "Well, if that's the case, why don't you go down? Like, why don't you just fall? Because it's about longevity for you, right? So don't even take the hit. Just dive forward, and I tag you, and there we go."
And it's like, these dudes, and think about it, they running up out of your angle. Like you might got an angle on somebody. They catch that slant. How you supposed to tackle somebody on the slant route, Tyvis?
I guess you're supposed to wrap them and keep running your feet, or I don't know, wrap them and try to hold them or something. I don't know. At the end of the day, your weight gonna fall. Your weight gonna drop every time because it's just naturally what you've been doing for all of these years. You're naturally just gonna drop and get into the ground. It's gonna turn into a wrestling move. Like that's just what
this is going to be. This is my problem with these dudes. This is gonna cost somebody a game.
Yeah.
The tackle. Think about the tackle in 1999, the greatest show on turf versus the Tennessee Titans. They talk about how great of a tackle. You know, they throw the football and Steve McNair, the guy catches the ball 4 or 5 yards.
Dyson. You're talking about Dyson. Yeah.
That by default, you're telling me that's a penalty.
Yeah. Yes, sir. That right there, they would have. If that rule was in effect today, they would have blew it 15 yards. Titans would have got the ball on the 1 yard line for one play, touchdown.
The hip drop is kind of cheap. The NFL wants to increase scoring. They have to do whatever they can to help the offense. It's crazy. But you got to think about it like this, and I think the NFL is wrong. Everybody wants to think that scoring means that you're good, bro. Look how many people that you idolized growing up being like, oh, we love Rod Woodson. Oh, we loved Ronnie Lott. Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White. Those dudes are defensive players, man. Like Deion Sanders is a defensive player, man. Like I get that you want points, but what happened? What tools are you giving back? And we haven't even started talking about targeting on defensive players. So I'm waiting to see how this rolls.
All I'm waiting on is to see them take something away from the offense. Maybe get rid of trucking. Maybe they can't run us over. Like maybe they can't stiff us. Like give us something. Like you've literally every 2 years it seems like you strip something from defense. It's been targeted. It's been you can't even cut the tackles no more. If they come pull, you can't even as a DB. I got to stand there and just get blasted.
Right.
Like, I can't even cut them no more. Like it's nothing. Every year is something that a defensive player can't do, but yet the offense can do whatever they want to do, and it's amazing to me. It really is.
Well, listen, we'll find. Something tells me this might be one of those rules where it's like when they was calling pass interferences, right? Where you can review pass interference, and they was like, listen, we can't do this no more. This ain't working. Let's get this up out of here halfway through the season.
Well, they ain't never let nobody win it anyway.
Yeah,
even if they was right.
All it's going to take is one time somebody tackles somebody short of a goal line. They give them a 15-yard penalty for that tackle.
Oh, it's a wrap.
And people going to go crazy.
They going to fight the rest.
They're going to go crazy. They're going to lose their mind. Speaking of losing their mind, speaking of the mind, your boy Deshaun Watson has a very sharp football IQ. We're going to put that on display here coming up here in a moment. We'll talk about what he's shown on his podcast, which is actually an enjoyable podcast. We'll come back and kind of dissect some things that he said. It's G. Bush's Tyvis right here in the Ultimate Brown Show. As always, we talk about it. You here right now with me, Ultimate Browns, every Monday, every Friday. Make sure you check out every single Tuesday, which is tomorrow, Ultimate Cavaliers. Hopefully the Cavs get a win tonight. They play the, Charlotte Hornets. We need to get back on track. It was embarrassing. It was nasty work yesterday. Getting beat by 50 points by the Miami Heat. Jason Lloyd, McNuggets break everything down, getting you ready for the Cavaliers as they make their playoff push. Make sure you make Ultimate Cavaliers a part of your everyday viewing every Tuesday right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Network. Hey, by the way, stop playing around. We got another one, Earl to Pearl. Every Thursday, Ultimate 216, bringing culture, sports, everything in the CLE. He'll hold you down on 216. Great shows. He talked about mental health the last show, Cecil Shorts. Appreciate all of the content, doing big things over there. Make sure you check out Ultimate 216 right here on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Network. So we right back at it. Let's get to this thing with Deshaun Watson. I think this is one of the better the better things that Deshaun Watson has done. I think his people did a good job of suggesting that he go and do this podcast. And I think one of the cool thing about the parts of this podcast is really cool is the simple fact that he talks about football and he's on the film. So we'll have Deshaun talk about it, and then kind of have a breakdown, a little bit of like Coach Tyvis. If you familiar with UCSS, he'll break down what he thinks he saw in this play as well.
Hey, but last question on this: are you reading this thing coop to the swirl route to the flat route? Is that how you read it?
Yep. So we're going coop to my swirl, and then I have all my check downs. You kind of fill out
either side and Joker or
wherever your eyes kind of take you.
Yeah. I think that this is really, really good. And when you can throw on time like this, take that one hitch and let it ride, right?
This is really good. You got to, starting with the offensive lineman. You know what I'm saying? Everyone, a hat on a hat with the play action. And then you got the guys, everyone is getting off the ball. Cooper's getting off the ball. DPJ is getting off the ball. And then you can see, if you go back, how the play, if you want to play it, right about stop. You got every receiver in every parts.
Think about that. Just that spacing is like
what you need. It's basketball.
Yeah.
It's the spacing. Space it out and make the defense cover it. Somebody should have opportunity to be open. Even though they got more players, it just, the chess match is also fun.
That's really cool.
Now, listen, that's what I love most about watching football. To me, we get into the tabloids of football and we talk about what's going on, but the straight breakdown right there, I love the fact that Deshaun can get on the board. They can start diagramming some different things. First and foremost, I want to ask you, Ty, what the heck was that safety doing? Your quarters, why is he flat-footed, bro?
I'm looking at it too, and I'm like, this. You know what? So this is funny because I played in this defense, like very similar to this defense when I was with Houston. I was in Houston with Deshaun and D-Hop. What was that, 2019? I was there for a week in training camp, right? And it was a very aggressive quarters defense, like so aggressive that I really wasn't that comfortable with it. Like you line it up 10, 11 yards off the ball and you reading, if it's pass or if it's run, like he like trigger right now if you see his run. And I'm like, what if it's play action, because of stuff like this. So I'm looking at that front side, the one with Coop. And obviously they got two receivers to that side. Now the receiver, they run like that grave digger type thing where he chips them and then he just goes out to the flat. And then you got the Coop thing. So if I'm at safety, I'm reading two. Once two does that little chip thing and you see he's not threatening you vertically, it should turn into an automatic double team on number one. Like that's what we ran in college. When we won it all in 2014, we ran this exact same thing. We was a quarters team. It should be a double on Coop. And it seems like that safety just kind of got flat-footed and he just got his eyes in that backfield and he never got on Coop fast enough, and boom, that's what happened. Ran right past him. That corner was probably thinking that whole way, like, hey, because he can see it too. He's playing off too. He's seeing like, hey, it's only one guy vertical. I'm gonna stay on the outside. You stay on the inside. Essentially, it's a double on this play. But that corner is like that right there is when it's what you call bad eyes. When a player got bad eyes when something like that happens, because that should have been a double team. It should have been a no play, and he should have had to either go to the swirl route to I think that was Tillman running the swirl route, or he would have had to hit one of those check downs.
Hey, listen, and that clip was courtesy of Quarterback Unplugged. Make sure you go check out that with Deshaun Watson and Quincy, his quarterback coach. They're doing their thing, making sure everything is getting together. And I love the podcast. You know what I'm saying? It's just really one of the best podcasts that I think from a player, because it shows both sides of how things is moving.
You know what else is on that though? You know what else I thought about when I'm sitting here looking at that play? It's that you remember during this year, Coop with Kevin running that 7-step bang 8.
Yep.
So that's why that safety was thinking, his coach probably done told him all week, if you see this play action, they like to run that bang 8 right behind it. So you ain't got to really worry about it. Actually, matter of fact, if you stand right here, you could jump this route and then he'll throw it right to you. And that boy Coop just kept on running. So it was actually a really good time. That right there tells me that Kevin Stefanski or whoever's calling the play the plays for the Browns is doing a really good job of self-scouting themselves and understanding that, hey, at some point we got to change things up. We can't keep having the same tendencies because guys are picking up on these tendencies, and that's something that a smart offensive coordinator would do. So shout out to Kevin Stefanski for knowing that they probably picked up that they was running those bang eights a lot and just said, Coop, just keep on running, and boom, there you go.
You know, and I think they did that one time against the Cardinals. Like Coop, like it was backside. He was just like, "Listen, I feel like I can get him." And Deshaun was like, "Yo, all right, I got you there." Like, and Freddie B, you are correct. Earlier in this exchange, Quincy was correcting Deshaun Watson on his footwork and fake. You know, like Quincy was. I remember seeing it. Quincy was like, hey, "Man, you know what you could have did better." That play action was whack. Your play action was trash. And he was Deshaun was like, well, you know, sometimes I'll be on schedule a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
That's one thing Deshaun do need to work, because Joe Flacco was actually good at that. He actually ran a really cold play action. He actually, because he showed the ball and then at the last minute he throw it in, so like you don't see it. Like if you're a defender and the quarterback's putting his back to you, first of all, if you're a backside safety, if the quarterback's back is to you, you always continue to backpedal because you don't know what the heck is going on. But if you can't, and last thing, if you see that ball, you're like, oh, he probably handed the ball off. But Joe actually did a good job of like flicking it with the hand and like throwing the fake in there. It was actually cold. You had to see it. I seen him do it, and I can't remember what game, but it was cold.
Man, you know what was cold? You know it's consistently cold. It's this podcast. It's the fastest 30 minutes in all the sports. And guess what? I looked up. I was like, whoa, we over time almost, man. Appreciate Travis jumping in on us. 174 people. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and keep supporting the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show Network. It's the only place you can get it. And you always know what my boy G Bush said. You never know where I'm going to show up. You just got to listen for the Clippers. Peace.